Yeah, hi Ravi. Good morning.
Yeah, hi, Arun. Very good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Ravi. Let's start sharply at 8:30. Another 6 minutes.
Yeah, yes, sir. Hopefully, I think you must be tired, I guess.
Yeah, Ravi. Today morning 4 o'clock only I reached back to Chennai.
Oh, God, oh, God.
I
Okay,
went to Madurai for a funeral. So it's like
okay.
around some 400, 500 kilometers like ways from here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can understand. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, Ravi. Let's wait for a few more minutes and then we'll start.
Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Arun.
Yeah, meanwhile, do you have any doubts on the previous classes, Ravi, so that we can discuss?
No, Arul, we are good. Actually, we installed the GitHub and we are doing the practice with Python
Okay,
together.
okay.
Me, Oscar, Guna, Srini, Prashant.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
that's good to
yeah,
hear.
we're on the same page. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Just exploring little bit in the office VDAs and all. We are just exploring how this generative AI will work in the real time like that.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
that's good. Yeah, yeah. Ravi. So the good thing is like if we have more hands-on, because this is just a 15-day session only, right? So we
right.
will cover
Yeah,
as much as we can, but better we can have more hands-on. Like whenever you have some time or whenever you have some free time, just try it out like what exactly these things are doing so that we will have a good grasp on what exactly this is.
yeah, yeah. Actually, I have one personal kind of thought for me because I am having more than 15 years of experience. So
Yeah.
where I will fit exactly in Gen AI, something like that, I have confusion exactly. What
You,
kind of
you
role?
you already have this 15 years of IT landscape experience. So you can try for some managerial roles from here onwards, right? Like lead kind of
Okay.
roles will be there, right? So those
Okay.
kind of technical advising, so high level architecture planning. So those kind of
Right.
things and all you can think of, Ravi. So whenever like you have some ideas, just post it in LinkedIn. Be more active on
Right.
LinkedIn, Ravi, because like there only
LinkedIn.
we can expose our thoughts and whatever we are having in our mind, right? So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
whenever you are learning something or whenever you are coming through some kind of Gen AI related stuff, just please feel free to share that in LinkedIn so that other
Yeah.
people can know, or else even in your companies they are talking about any generative AI kind of stuff. Just be involved in those kind of areas also.
Okay.
Like sometimes we will do some kind of POC implementations, right? For
Yeah.
clients, right?
Right.
Likewise, like some hackathons will come in companies, right? So most of the companies are doing Gen AI hackathons nowadays, right? So
Right.
please try to participate in everything so that you can establish an identity on that particular area. So
Right.
that will improvise your profile value as well. So at one
Right.
point of time, you can transition your career completely into Gen AI lead or kind of,
Lead
because
role.
you
Yeah.
already have the enough industrial
Yes. Yes.
experience. So that business
Yeah.
knowledge along with this, yeah, I can say you don't need a complete technical knowledge. Like at least if you are having some architectural understanding of how things work in a high level, along
Yeah.
with that, if you combine your industrial experience, whatever we have gathered so far,
Yeah.
so if you combine both the things, yeah, you can transition yourself into leadership roles, Ravi.
Okay. Is there any certifications in Gen AI? I mean, AI Gen AI related?
There is one certification in Microsoft Azure actually. So that is like that's not exactly OpenAI what we are studying. So that is
Okay.
also similar kind of AI stuff that is within Azure.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that certification you can plan, Ravi. Like I will share you that materials and all. Like Udemy, there is a course actually. Do you
Okay.
have
Yeah.
access to business Udemy in your organization so that you can take that course free itself? Yeah.
We have, I think, TIA is having partnership with some companies, some training partnerships. LinkedIn and few others are there. Two,
Yeah.
three are there. But just ping me, give me the details. I will search if they have anything that.
Let me share my screen.
Yeah.
So there is something called AI 102, I guess.
Okay.
AI 102. Yeah, AI 102. This one.
Okay. AI engineer
So
associate.
this is
Okay.
like Azure AI, like how people are doing. Bhaskar did the data engineering associate, right?
Yes. Yes.
Same way we have an Azure AI engineer associate certification. So this is the
Okay.
recent one with Microsoft, like some 2-3 months or 3-4 months old only.
Okay.
So for this actually, this is also like if you have our course understanding, like not with the Python stuff, but with this AI related information, like whatever we are going to discuss on next week, right? So
Yeah.
with these examples and with this understanding, if you approach and study about this, like whatever related to AI on Azure, right? So this will
Yeah.
give you more confidence on to take up the certification. So this certification so far didn't have any dumps. So that is one good thing in industry.
Okay.
In Udemy, there is a course I saw for AI 102. AI 10. Yeah, this guy, 15 hours course. This is some
Okay.
400 rupees course. You can buy it for 400 rupees. Otherwise, like better if you are having some company related Udemy access, then it will be
Yeah.
free only for you. So
Sure.
there you
Sure.
can see like yeah, course resources and all these things, right? So here it is specific to Azure.
Okay.
So this AI related stuffs we were seeing, right? Here
Yeah.
there is something called an AI service, Azure AI service. So here itself they have multiple AI related stuffs inside Azure platform.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Uh, Text translation, speech translation. This is our chat GPT kind of natural language processing stuffs
Okay.
and object detection, image stuffs, all these things likewise. And if you are starting this one, like start from here, this 2024 new course he is mentioning, right? Just go
Right.
through everything and then from here again you can start. Like
Okay.
at
Yeah.
least like how we are dedicating now 1 hour per day, right? Where we the
Right.
same way, like after the course, after our 15 days, like you can invest at least 1 or 2 hours per day on studying this and complete the certification. This is
Yeah.
just to make sure that okay, I am able to go through a track and I am able to achieve something fast like this. But I am not
Yeah.
sure about this industrial value of the certificate. But this one is recently released and this one is getting trending right
Training. Okay. Yeah. Definitely, I'll buy this
now.
one. Yeah. It's just
Yeah,
400. Yeah. Let me see.
and for Azure platform also, I think you might have this O'Reilly access, right? O'Reilly in your office.
Yeah. I heard really. Yeah. Generally, this is famous for books and all. Yeah.
Yeah, in O'Reilly, if you have office access, actually, I have my office access for O'Reilly. So inside this, there is something called Sandbox. Okay, so there you
Okay.
can get the Azure access and you can directly practice instead of giving credit card and doing all these
Okay.
stuffs. Yeah, there we
Okay.
have Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud. Three sandboxes will be there.
Okay.
So with that, actually, like you can practice it. Yeah, when you are studying this, yeah, please get in touch with me also. Like, yeah, if you are stuck with any of these things also, please let me know. I will try to explain it to you in a simpler way, like based on my understanding.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. 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 I will. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, sure. After our complete class, please start touching this. Otherwise, like it will be like kind of lot of technical jargons for us. Likewise, otherwise
Yeah.
you need to parallelly open Google and you need to identify what exactly these people are talking about. Like,
Right. Yeah.
this will give you a complete overview of how to approach AI, and after that, like if you go through this, then you will be familiarized with all the AI related terms mostly. So with that terminology understanding, if you touch this course, then yeah, it will be very easier for you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Let's see who else joined. Prashant joined. Yeah, hi Prashant.
Hell,
Yeah, let me drop a message in WhatsApp so that people can join and then we will start.
Hi, Aaron. Good
Yeah,
morning.
hi Bhaskar. Good morning. Yeah, let's wait for some 2-3 minutes and then we will start, Bhaskar.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's start the session so that yeah, if people joins, then they can see it from the recording. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So in our 15 days class, like on our last class, we saw about like introduction to programming and how to use Google Colab and how to use GitHub and basics of print statement and comments, right? So in today's class, we will see about control structures. So apart from this, like I have shifted these two elements from day one to here. Okay, so this is not exactly control structure. This is also introduction to Python stuff, only. Variables and data types, and simple input and output using these functions, input and print functions, and then conditional statements like if, elif, and else. And apart from that, some comparison operators, logical operators, and then we will have some basic understanding of how the loops are working, and we will use the loops to do some operations like while, for, like this. So this is the agenda for today's class. So yeah, let's start with this. Like in the already shared Google Colab notebook itself, I have continued class 2 content as well. Yeah. So yeah, let me share this one again once again so that uh, if you miss it, you could have used this, right? Everyone was able to open this Google Colab, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah. So we have already gone through these things, and this is the table of contents. Like whenever you want to navigate through this notebook, just go to this table of contents and you can click on some particular topic. So there you can see about a write-up along with that some examples. Okay. So in today's class, we will talk about variables and data types. So as we saw, like for every programming language, there are some linguistic constructs, right? So that's like kind of building blocks. So based on that building blocks only, we can learn our knowledge like this. So whenever we are trying to familiarize ourselves with any programming language, take it Python or Java or whatever it might be. So the concepts, the underlying concepts are same only. Even if it is mainframe, even if you compare this with COBOL also, right? So whenever you are learning a programming language, just try to compare with what we already know along with that, so that we can get some understanding on how a new programming language is working. Okay. So we might have familiarized ourselves with any programming language in our previous days. So we might have lost some touch also in between time, right? So it's like a kind of a refresher session you can think of, so that you can just correlate like how exactly that is working and how exactly this particular programming is working. So the underlying concepts are same only for everything. Means that variable will always be a variable in any programming language, be it Java, be it Python, be it .NET, whatever it is. We call it as variables only because that's having a varying nature, right? And also data types. Data types are same only, but that depends on the programming language. So in our program, in every programming language, we have different kind of data types, right? In COBOL, if you see, we have some computational data types and display data types, right? So we have different kind of data types like that. Alphanumeric, numeric, like this. Same way, Python is having also numeric data types as well as string data types, right? Same way only. So the underlying structure will be same for every programming language. And we are going to see each and every underlying structure, like this conditional statements, like these data structures, like how we are using functions, strings and files. So that's why I'm just generalizing it on each and every day's topic over here, like this, so that we can just try to compare what exactly this is doing. Okay, so control structure means what? Like we are controlling a program flow, right? So for controlling that program flow, we need some conditional statements, we need the comparisons, we need looping. So those kind of things and all will fall under control structure. Same way, data structure means what? Like that programming language might contain some specific set of structures, so for handling the data. So that's why we are calling it as data structures. So that data structures also we are segregating like this. So in our today's class, let's start with variables and data types. Okay. So what is a variable? Variable is nothing but like we are assigning a right side value to a left side. Left side what? Variable like this. So it's simply to store our program in a variable and we can manipulate it later. Okay. So here in Python, we don't have any variable declaration. Okay, means that in any programming language, if you are going to use a variable, what we will usually do, we will put suppose if it is COBOL, right? Most of us are familiarized with COBOL, right? Which is the most comfortable programming language for you to compare it with? Any idea?
I think, Arul, most of the people are aware of that SQL.
SQL. Okay, right, okay, Bhaskar. So the thing is like, yeah, be it any programming language, right? So what we usually do, we will simply do a declaration. If it is an integer means int. Even if you are creating a table, what we will do? Create table syntax. So how we will do? So for every column, we will have a data type, right? Like suppose create table. So on table name like way, some table like employee, we can say. Okay, so this employee table, what we will do? We will simply put employee name. Employee name as string, right? Same way, salary as integer, right? So this string, this integer, whatever we are representing here, right? So this is called as variable declaration, like this. Means that you are declaring this particular variable to this particular data type. Okay, so this is called as a data type, integer, string, like this. So those kind of data types represent that this particular variable will be used only for this particular type, likewise. So it should be used only for integer. It should be used only for a string. You should not pass pass some other thing apart from string. Even if I pass an integer to this will be considered as a string only. Even if I pass a string here, then that will throw an error because string cannot be converted into an integer because this is restricting it to be a number, right? So that kind of declaration is called as data type string. So, but here we don't need any data type related declaration in Python. What we will do is we will simply assign a value to this. Okay, so this age is a variable, right? So in this variable, we will simply assign a value of 30. Okay, so what it will do, it will internally take it as like integer likewise, because this is a full number. Okay, me okay. Is it understandable or I am confusing it? Hello?
It's clear.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
clear.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Okay. Yeah. Why I'm asking is like these are all the foundation blocks of Python. So that's why again and again I am insisting. Okay. So whenever I am assigning some values, so this particular variable will be automatically, implicitly, it will assume like, okay, this is going to be a float likewise. So whenever we are having a decimal, this is called as a float data type likewise. Whenever I am putting something in double quotes, this is called a string. So this string, so this name will be of data type string likewise. So you don't need to explicitly mention the data type in Python. So the variable declaration, whenever you are doing a variable declaration, it will automatically take up the data type for it. Okay. So you can, after creating a variable, then you can use it anywhere inside the entire collab environment, because these variable declarations are global inside this collab. Okay. It didn't have
Uh,
any kind of scope within, like you
Arun,
can
one
use it
question here.
within yeah,
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 one question here. Like, for example, in the screen, you are giving like age equal 13, pi equal to 3.14. Like,
yeah,
we are giving here like static values, right? If it is a
yeah,
dynamic, how will it take?
yeah. That part we will come later. We will be having the
Oh,
input
okay.
output stuffs, right? So based on
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
we can directly. Yeah.
Okay.
From user inputs you are asking, right? So that also we will cover. So that is like after this variable and data types.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So we are just simply assuming like if you are passing an integer, it will be an integer like this. So this is a full number. So when you pass a full number, either it might be positive or negative, minus also, plus also, it will automatically assume this particular variable as an integer. Okay, this might be minus 13 or this might be plus 13. So whenever you want to find out any variable type, data type, okay, so here we have three variables, right? So if I want to find out the data type of a variable, what we will do is we are having a function called type. Okay, so this type function will automatically bring up the data type of this particular variable. Okay, so here we are declaring this variable. Okay, so now the variables got declared. Whenever, how I am saying that this got declared, because I got a green tick out of this. So means that this particular cell is executed. I didn't have any print statement or something here. That's why I didn't have an output cell of this. So when I get a green tick here, it implicitly tell me that okay, this declaration is done. Okay, so this declaration is done. That's why I'm getting a green tick here. So after that, if I am trying to print it, okay, I'll close it actually. See, this age type is integer, int here. This is integer. The same way, pi is having a decimal point, like it is having a dot, right? So whenever you are having a decimal point, Python will implicitly take this as a float. Okay, so this particular variable is implicitly declared as float. Same way, this particular double quote stuff, like whatever bunch of characters we are giving within this double quotes. Okay, so whatever it might be. So that is considered as a string. String might be a word, string might be a sentence, or string might be anything within these double quotes or a single quote. Okay, so that can be considered as a string. So this is how the variable declarations are assumed with the data types. Okay, when you are declaring something, then that particular value will be attached to this. So if you are declaring 13 here, so this 13 is attached to this age. That's why we are getting 13 when I am trying to print this. Same way, if I am putting a name, that name is attached to this particular variable. Or if I am putting any string here, okay, any string. So if I put any string, anything with spaces or anything, okay, so that particular stuff will be attached to this name, and this name will have the data type as string. Okay, getting it right? See, this name is having the type of string. So this type is the function to get what exactly the data type is. Okay, since we don't have a data type declaration, we need to understand how this particular variable is having this data type. Right? For understanding that, or for knowing that, we will be using this type function to get the data type of this. See, if whenever you are having any doubt in any statement, just move over the mouse over there. Okay. There itself, there is a tooltip coming in, right? See, take for an example, if I go to this type, okay, type is having a tooltip like this. So this is how I need to pass the arguments per type. Okay, likewise. And also after, if I don't know the value of age here, like suppose consider this, like I am in my 20th cell or 30th cell. I could have declared the value of age at first cell itself. Okay. So by that time, if I am coming here, I don't know what is declared here. Instead of printing it, even if I put a mouse over also, see, it will show the value like this. Integer age. This is integer. Instead of type function, if you just hover our mouse over the variable, just put your mouse cursor over there. Like if you put the cursor over over any variable, you can have this small card. So in that small card, you can have a detailed explanation. Like see here, I stored any string here, right? So that is coming on bottom. And it belongs to string data type. That's why it is showing as str, like this. Okay, so this is how variable works. The same thing like data types also, it is showing like whatever we have explained here, right? Same thing, it is coming in this explanation, like data types. We have integers, that is numbers we are storing here, right? So that is called integers. We have float, whatever data type is having a decimal point, that we are considering it as float. Okay. And we have strings. So whatever collection of characters, either it might be spaces or a sentence, or if it is double quotes or single quotes, if we are putting it in within double quotes or single quotes, so that is considered as a string. Okay. So for checking that data type, we will be using this type function.
I have one question here. So if I'm putting an
Yes.
10 in a double quotes, that is also again considered as string, right?
Yeah, if I put 10 in double quotes, that will be string because we are putting it within double quotes or single quotes.
And I have one more question. Let's say you said a is equal to some value, age is equal to some value, right? Let's say if
Age
I
is equal
down
to,
the line,
okay. Okay.
as you said, I have written some lines of code, and I forgot I have declared a variable called age. And if I put an again age is equal to somewhere 17,
Yeah,
will it
then
over?
that value will be overlaid. Yeah, that will become 17.
Okay. So I
See,
cannot
this is what you are
see above
asking, right? See,
in that
for
case.
example, in this cell, you are asking like age is equal to 17, right?
Yeah.
So now, if I print the age, it will become 17. Because Python will allow you to reuse the variables. Okay. So suppose in case if I could have declared it, then if you are declaring it again, then that should throw an error, right? But we are not declaring it here.
Will that
Right?
not create a confusion Because if
Yeah,
somebody
that
goes
is the problem with Python. Yeah, right, Srinivas. So that and all are the giveaways we are doing when we are learning Python. Yeah, this will surely give confusion as you are telling. So how to avoid it? Suppose in case if I want to declare something as age, okay, here itself I will put age, and then if I put cursor over here, see it is showing 17. Means that it's already executed and it's having the value of 17, right? Before you are assigning a value to this, you could have just put a cursor over there. Then you can come to know, okay, whether this is declared or what. Because we are dealing with a notebook, there is a chance that you might have used it at the first cell, right?
yes, yeah,
So to avoid that, basically you can do it. Otherwise, there is one more thing called, here we have something called a variable explorer or something like that. Command palette variables. Here we have something called variable inspector. Okay. If you just click on this in the left side, okay, this is only available with Google Colab. Okay, thanks for bringing this up. I thought of touching this. Okay, here in the left side, we have a table of contents, right? Same way, we have something called variable explorer. Okay, so if you click on this, so far, whatever variables we have declared or executed, right? So those will be displayed here. Means that these variables and all I didn't execute it, right? See, suppose in case if I am playing this, okay, now this will have these variables also, right? Here number of apples is there, temperature is there, age is there, right? Because there is a tendency for us to lose the lose the variable name, right? That might happen.
correct.
We might have declared it at the first cell and we might be in the 20th cell and we might be missing it out, right? So for that particular purpose, this Google Colab is having something called variables in the left side. If we click on this, there also we can see like whatever uh, cells we have executed so far. It's not like if I type it and if I don't execute, it will not show here. Whatever cells I have executed so far, so those kind of cells means that those variables which are in this runtime. Okay. Runtime means what? Like in this memory, like whenever I press a play button, then that will become a runtime. So those are in the memory. So those will be listed over here. Okay. Getting it right? Or I'm confusing
Yes.
it. Okay. Then go.
And, again, continuation of the question. What is the shape 10 characters here? The length of that string which you define?
Yeah, correct. See, this is having a length of 10 characters like this. That's what.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Checking sequence. Okay. Now I am just putting this. This should have 6 characters. Yeah, here it is showing 6 characters. This is particularly for string only. It won't show for integers. It will show only for strings. Okay, so this is having 6 characters, right? 6 characters. And there is one more function in Python. Okay, I will introduce that function also. That function is called len. Okay, whenever you are having some number of characters in a big line or sentence, okay, what you can do is we can do a len function. Okay, that len function is to count the number of characters inside a string. Okay, see, this is showing 6 here, right? So that 6 only showing here also. Okay. So this is how this variable inspector works. This is called as variables inspector. So with this variables inspector, we can get all this whatever variables we have declared so far. Those are in runtime, right? So those runtime variables can be checked here. so that we will not do a mistake of declaring a variable again and again. Yeah, so this
And
is one
one
functionality of
question.
Google Column. Yeah,
One
yeah.
question. How much history it will maintain, Arul, for a variable inspector?
Until unless you close this window, and if you are starting it once again, okay, if I am starting it once again, okay, that will be completely destroyed. That session will be destroyed. See, this won't have anything.
But I want to use this same thing next session. How I can use it?
Anyway,
So
like,
now,
see, it got executed again and it was opening likewise. See,
oh,
until unless this machine is there, right? So you are running your Python on a particular machine, right?
yeah.
Until unless this particular session get destroyed.
Okay,
Okay, if I am disconnecting it, if I am disconnecting and deleting the runtime, okay,
okay.
what happens was your Python is getting stopped.
Mhm.
So whenever you are putting a play button, that time your Python itself is getting executed, right? So if I disconnect and delete the runtime, what happens? Entire runtime will be gone. So the same way your variables will be gone because this is not having any runtime,
Okay,
right? So if I am connecting it again, this will be a new Python runtime, right? This will be a new Python runtime. So this time also you won't be having because you have connected to a different Python instance again,
okay,
likewise. So whenever you are reloading the Python, again you need to go and execute each and every cell likewise. Or else you can do execute all. There is something called run all. See, run all will run all the cells again. If I click run all, what happens? It will just execute whatever cells I have here.
okay. The
Yeah,
previous
so
one also it will come, right? Run all, if you run all.
yeah, run all will do the execution of all the cells. Like see,
Okay.
whatever code cells I have here, right? In our previous class, we saw
Yeah,
code
yeah.
cell and this one text cell, right? So whatever code cells I have, all these code cells, it will trigger the execution. Why it is not executing? Just because I have an input function here. So until unless this execution is done, then only it will go to the next cell like this. It will execute the cell one by one from the start. So this is the first code cell. Yeah, this is the first code cell. We did a hello world on the first class, right? So here itself, it will mention like one bracket one. You are able to see, right? If I just
Yes.
remove the mouse pointer, you can see a bracket one. So that means that is the first code cell. Okay. After that, it will execute the second code cell, two. Right? Same way here you can see three. This one is three. This one is four. Likewise, it keep on executing. Okay, until unless it will keep on executing all the cells in a sequential way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Likewise. So here I have an input function which we will cover later. That's why it is waiting for my input. Okay,
Okay.
and if see here it is just passing the execution, right? That's why it is not executing the remaining cells. Until unless this execution is complete, it won't execute down the line cells.
Okay.
Okay, so whenever it is getting executed, see, still now there is no variable named in name. Here already there, so that is because here we might have declared it somewhere. Names equal to something like this. That's why. What is the value here? Yeah, any string we have declared, right? Names equal to any string like this. That's why. So here I am changing that any string to my name, Arul, like this. Yeah, now the name will change it to 4 characters as Arul, like this. So after that, see, it's still waiting for my input like this. Simply I am passing this. After that, again, we will go through these things. Okay. So far, you are able to catch how this variable explorer is working, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, then go. Yeah. So now we will be going to here back. Okay, we will be using this type of function to check the data type. Okay, also we can convert the data types. That is also possible. Okay, so this age is a number here, integer here. So that integer I want to convert it into a string. Okay, so what we will do, we will be using a str function. So that str function means it's converting this integer into a string. So string of an integer likewise. Same way, we already have a, this is integer. This integer is converted to string. Okay, this is string. If we are giving something within double quotes, that's string. Okay, let me explain this. Okay. String is equal to, likewise, if I am giving like this. Okay. So now if I am checking type of string. Okay. It is not number actually, because we are giving number inside this double quotes, right? See, it's string, str, right? So this one, I want to convert it into number. It's equal to, how I will do, integer of string one. If I do like this particular string can be converted into integer. Okay. Then if I check the type, what it will be? It will be it will be an integer. See, it is becoming an integer, right? Getting it right. So this kind of type conversion is possible in Python. You can convert a integer to string and string into integer. So string to integer also, there is one issue over there. Let me explain that also. Okay, integer to float is also possible. If you are doing float of an integer, this 5 is a full number, right? So that's why we are calling it as an integer. If we do a float of this, what it will do, it will simply add a decimal point like 0.0 like this. Okay. So if I try to see, take for an example, the same number. I am putting string one, comma, type of string one. And now one, comma, type of num one. Same way, float one is equal to float of num1. Okay. So this one is, this 10 is converted into number first. Okay, that is integer first. And that integer, again, I am trying to convert it into float. Okay. Float one, comma, type of float one. Okay. So if I click this, then it will become like 10.0 and it is showing float. Okay, so that string is getting converted into number, and that number will convert it into float. So when you are converting an integer into number, that will add a decimal point after that and put a 0 here. Okay, just give me a minute, I will be back. Just give me. Yeah, sorry guys. Like, so this 10, first I declared it within double quotes. Okay, so that is becoming a string. So that string, I am converting it into an integer here. So that is converted to a number first. So that number, again, I am converting it into a float. So that is also possible in Python. Okay. So now suppose in case, if I am putting my name here, okay, this is not numeric, right? So this numeric, you cannot convert it into a number. Why? Because This is not a number actually. So the content in between these double quotes, if it is a number, then only it will allow you to convert it into a integer like this. Getting it or I am confusing it? Hello?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay.
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. So if I put some numbers like this, that number only can be converted into from a string to a numeric data type. So from a string to a numeric data type, maybe if it is a float or an integer, that string that is within this double quotes should carry a number. Then only it can convert that string to an integer. If I am putting any other alphabets instead of numbers, that is 0 to 9, or any character, so that will not be getting converted. That will throw an error. That's correct only, right? So the number should be inside the integer data type, right? So that's why we have this kind of type conversions. Okay, so this is also possible in Python. You can convert the data types from one to another. Okay, the same
One
way.
one
Yeah,
question,
yeah,
Arun.
yeah, Prashant.
Yeah, number to string is possible, right? String to number is not possible.
No, string to number is possible, but that string should contain only number within this double quotes.
Yeah, that's what. Like, for example, we have in the quotation 3 5. Okay,
Yeah,
that will convert into the like string. But
yeah,
for
this is a
example,
string actually currently. Yeah,
yeah, for example, age is there in the quotation. That age is not converted into the number, correct? In the string, in the double quotes, age is there, the string. So that
okay.
is not converted into the number, correct?
AGE likewise, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
this
yeah.
cannot be converted it into a number because this is not a
Yes.
number actually. This is
Oh,
characters, individual characters. These characters are like alphanumeric, right? So these are like
and
within A to Z. This individual character is within A to Z, right?
and
So
oh, yeah, yeah. One more question, Arun.
yeah,
Like this converter, which type of scenarios we can use in the real time?
in the real time, suppose if you are getting data from outside. Okay, so I take for an example, you are executing a query. Okay, so that query might give you, or if you are getting a JSON, okay, so the JSON will completely contain the string,
Mhm.
right? So that you need to play with your internal data types. If it is a number, you need a number for a calculation, right? Then by that time, what you need to do, you need to convert that string into a number, right? See, take for an example. I am doing a request.
Okay.
Okay, you know the request response stuff, right? So when you're doing a request, then the system needs to give you a response, right? When you are
Yes.
communicating something with the server, what happens? That response will come to you. So that response will always be in string only.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so that complete JSON dump will be a string only. So that
Okay.
particular JSON dump, you need to convert that into numerical data types at further point of time. Why? Because like you need to do some processing on top of it.
Okay. Okay.
Suppose some
Got it.
numerical calculations will be there, right? So
Yeah.
those for
Yeah.
those kind of things, you need the type conversion. And type
Okay.
conversion is possible in every programming language.
Mm.
Even in COBOL, we are converting a COM3 data type to a, we can expand that COM3 data type to a numeric data. If you are passing it to a regular 9 of something, then that can be passed. That is possible. Same way, like so that is possible in every programming language, and Python is also having that flexibility for us.
Simply, we can say like process execution, right?
Yes, correct.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. So up to this point, any doubts? Like I know we are going very slow, but yeah, we will catch up this speed.
Yeah, sure, Arul.
Yeah. So why I'm going slow is like these and all are very foundation building blocks. So if we are understanding this properly, then only we can understand the complex stuff down below things. Okay. Okay. So we will move on to the next topic. So this topic is like input and output. Okay. So the input and output is nothing but we are already using this print function, right? So what this print function is doing, it is printing whatever you are passing in. So those things and all, it is printing. Like if it is a variable, then it is taking up the variable value and print it for you, right? If it is a string, it is directly printing that also, right? We are printing hello world, we are printing welcome to this, likewise, right? So those things and all can be outputted in Python using this print function. Okay, print function is simply used to output whatever information we want. So this is like a kind of a display statement. So this is for output. That's why we are having a topic called output using print, and we can get the input also from user. As like previously we were having a doubt, right? For a variable, how we can get the values from the user like this. So for to get the value from an user, you can use this input function. Okay, so this input function is to get the user inputs. So the user might input a string, or the user might input a integer, whatever it might be. But whenever you are putting an input function, okay, even if I put number also, see, take for an example. If I put 12 also, okay, then what it would be? It should be a number, right? But always it will take it as a string. See, even if I put some 35 also, it will be string only. See, why? Because this input function will always get the user typed stuff. So this will be always considered as a string. Okay. So within this double quotes, whatever you are passing, that is displayed to the user like this. And this input will indicate an input text box like this. So if you are putting an input function, what happens? It will ask the user to input some value for this particular question. Like this, you can think. Please enter your name, please enter your age, likewise. Okay, if you are going to an ATM, it is asking you to do an input, like enter how much money you want, right? So that time what you are doing, you are typing some numbers. So those numbers are stored as a string only at all the time. Okay, so whatever input it is, even it is a number, even if you put some 32.1 also, okay, everything will be a string only. Okay, so this thing you need to keep in mind. Always this one will be whatever you are inputting, that will be a string. So now we can do the type conversion. Take for an example, if I am getting age, okay, input, enter your age. So now I am printing the age and I am printing the type of age. Okay. Now what I need to do is I need to have the age as an integer. Okay, I'm just declaring a variable like this. So here I can do the type conversion like this, int of age. Okay. Now again I am printing type of age, int. Right. So what it will do, I am getting my name. I am just getting my age. That age will be in string. That string age, I am converting it into an integer. Okay. Like Arul, and I am 35. So if I type 35, see, it is string first. Okay, and that is getting converted it into int here. So this is where we do the type conversions, because like whenever this input function, right? So whenever we are using an input function, it will always picks up the value which is inputted by the user as a string only, even though if you type a number. So that can be type converted here. So this is where this data type conversions comes into picture. right? Getting it right? Shall I take the silence as everyone was able to understand, or I am making everyone sleep?
Yeah, it's clear, Arun. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Thanks. So here we are combining input and print. Okay, so what we are doing, we are inputting your name and we are just printing it. Okay, in this print statement, there are two ways to combine these strings. Okay, one is to use this comma or one is to use this plus. Okay, so this is called string concatenation. So anyway, whatever you are putting it inside this print statement, that will be a complete string only. That will be converted it into string only. How we are getting a value of an input, right? So the same way, print statement, whatever you are printing, that will be converted it into a string and it is displaying in the system. Okay. So what happens for us, like here, if you want to combine something, okay, what you can use, you can put a comma or you can put a plus symbol. Okay, both can be used to concatenate the string. Yes, take for an example. Here, I am asking like how old are you? Okay, if I put some 35, what it will do? It will simply put you are first. After that, I am putting a space here. Okay, after that, what it will do? I am putting a comma. Comma means this comma means that continuing this, there is another string likewise. So the another string will be my age. So this value. So whatever I have inputted here, right? So this 35 and then comma. Okay. After that, years old likewise. So you are 35 years old. Likewise, I need to get, right? So this age value, I am getting it, right? From the user. So this value, we are printing it here, like this, right? You are 35 years old. Okay, so this comma is to concatenate. This comma is to combine multiple strings. Okay, same way you can use plus also. Plus. Okay, so plus also will do the same thing. Instead of comma, if you put plus also, what it will do, it will simply concatenate it. 35 years. Okay. So this plus or comma can concatenate these strings. So if you have a group of strings, you can put comma or plus likewise. Okay. So this is how we can combine input and print function. Same way, here they are trying to enforce this age to be an integer. Okay, for that what they are doing, they are directly putting an int in front of it, so that if I am typing some name here, it won't allow. It will throw an error because it is trying to get the input first and it is trying to convert it into an integer. Okay, so you should always enter an integer. So this string will be 35. Suppose in case if I am entering 35, what it will do, this string will be 35, right? So the 35 is a number. So that number you can do a conversion into an int and you can store it into 35 here in age. So that will be printed over here. Next year you will be 35 plus 1. Here you can do an arithmetic operation also. Okay. So you press enter. Next year you will be 36 year old likewise. Okay, so this is how this input and output statement works. And I have an example here to get a number and convert it into a float, and you can add it likewise. Yes, this one and all you can try it off. This is like a kind of a simple addition operation, kind of a calculator, I can say. Okay, you can try it off in your free time. Okay, and then we will jump on to the conditional statement. Before we go into this conditional statement, Let's re-ensure like everyone is able to get what is the simple input and output in Python. Okay, are you able to get it right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Mhm. Yeah. Next, we will jump on to the condition statement. Conditional statement is what? It's nothing but it's like a kind of an if or else. Okay, if or else in the sense like if something is true, then do it. If something is false, then do this likewise. Okay, so for this if condition, we will be always checking whether this Boolean expression is correct, true or false likewise. Okay, suppose in case if I am having an age of 18, okay, see, take for an example, I will be we now know the input and output and all, right? Let me put a code cell. So here what I will do, I will be putting age is equal to, I am enforcing it to be an integer. I am using int. Okay. Input of enter your age. Okay. So this one I am putting as major and minor. Major check. If my age is greater than 18, okay, what I need to do is age greater than or equal to. Here we have the ability to compare two conditions. Okay, this we will see it later under the logical expressions. Okay, if it is greater than or equal to 18, then what we will do, we will be printing like, hey, you are a major. You can vote likewise. Okay, so here what this condition does, it is first we will be asking if is called the keyword, called as a keyword. Okay, so this keyword is used to evaluate this expression. Okay, so this one we are calling it as a logical expression. So this logical expression is nothing but it is checking whether the user inputted age. User might input at any age, like, right? So user may input 2, user may input 35, user may input 40, user may input 99, or user may input 5, 6 also, whatever it might be. So first we will make sure that user is entering an integer. Okay. So if the user is entering an integer, then only this one will be stored into this age. Okay. So that age value, if it is greater than or equal to 80. Okay, this is what is called as a conditional expression. So what we are doing, we are checking whether the entered value of user is greater than, either it might be greater or equal to. Okay, user may enter 18 also. So whenever user attains the age of 18, means that it's not like, you can say like greater than 17 also. Instead of equal to, you can say like greater than 17. Okay. So if the age is greater than 70, means that user might attain age of 80. So by that time, you will be print like you are a major, you can vote. Okay. Otherwise, we are not printing anything because we are just saying only, we will be printing this statement only when the user age is greater than 70. Okay. If I am running this, first we will type some string here. So anyway, it should throw an error, right? Because we are trying to convert a string into an integer, right? User should always enter an integer. So suppose in case if I am putting some 15, so 15 is a minor age, right? So what it will do, if I enter 15, that 15 will be converted as an integer and it will be stored in age, this variable. So that 15 is getting checked here. So this condition expression, this expression is false now, right? So this is a Boolean expression. Either it might be true or either it might be false. So if it is true, then only the down the line, the very next line, whatever it is that can be executed. So an if condition will always be written like this. If an expression after that this particular colon. Okay. So this particular colon indicates that this is a condition like this. So when you are putting a colon, after that what you need to do, you cannot write the print statement in here itself. Okay, that is called as an indentation error. Okay, indentation error means your print statement should always be inside this if condition. Means that you need to put a space here. Okay. It won't execute. Why? Because here it should have 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, okay. Greater than 17 only, right? 18 if I'm. Now you are getting it, right? So the usual methodology is you should have a 4 spaces in here. Okay. Even if you put 1 space also it will work. But the usual practice is you need to put a 4 space here. Okay. We usually do as a 4 space term. Whenever you are doing a condition, after that put a 4 space and put a print statement like this. Okay, so this is how an if condition is working. Okay.
Arul, I think it should work after one space. Try once.
Yeah, in 1 space also it will work, 2 space also it will work. But
Okay.
for the coding standards, or if we want to practice a good coding standard, what we usually do is we need to put 4 spaces. Just to make us understand that, because this is inside the statement. Okay, this is just for making us understand, like, for putting 4 spaces like this is not specific to a compiler, and compiler will not ask us to put 4 spaces. Even 1 spaces itself is fine. 1 space itself it will work on.
Got it.
Yeah, but for our better coding practices, what we usually do is we will put 4 spaces. Then only we can understand, okay, something is getting wrapped inside, so that we will come to know, okay, there is a condition over here like this, right? Otherwise, if I simply put on 1 space, I cannot able to see, right, when reading a code. Okay, so this is how an if condition works. Any doubts up to this point? Hello?
Yeah, no, Arul, it's clear.
Okay, Ravi. Yeah. Yeah, we will complete this if condition today, and after that, from this point, we will be continuing on the next class. Okay. In second class,
Uh,
we will be having very less topics on.
Arul, actually, Python is having keywords, right? Like any language. So, are
Yeah.
we covering after some time, or just
Yeah,
adding
these
that one as
these are all
this one?
keywords only, Ravi. Like this if is
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
right? So this if is a
Yes, yes.
keyword. So whatever we are
Yeah,
seeing right here, right? So this color. Okay, so
right,
this
right.
if is a keyword. Okay, so this conditional keyword, this print is a keyword, float is a keyword,
Right.
integer is a keyword, input is a keyword. Likewise, so whenever you are using some function names, or whenever you are using some conditional names, so those things and all are keywords only. Okay, that is coming along with this. So means that these things and all you cannot use it as a variable. I cannot simply say like if is equal to 7 like this, right? So then how I will compare, right? If is equal to
Right, right. Yeah.
7, I cannot do a comparison like this, right? Then this will be a confusing stuff. So that's why these keywords you cannot use for variable declarations. Okay, so this keyword in the sense it's nothing but whenever you are seeing some condition names, or whenever you are seeing some print or this kind of function names, I cannot simply put like print is equal to this it will allow actually, but that's not a good practice actually. Okay, print of print. This is like confusing only, right? So it's better, it's always better not to use keywords in your variables. Object not callable. Oh, this is an integer, right? So I need to convert it into a string. Then only it will print. Integer you cannot directly print. Object not callable. It's better not to use this keyword. Okay, that's why you are getting some confusion. Okay, likewise you can play around and see. Object not callable. Object not callable. What is this? Age is equal to integer of input your age. Okay, 35 and 50. Previously it was working, right? Age of this. Okay, it's always better to make mistakes so that you can learn. Int object is not callable. Oh, sorry. This is int, right? Int object is not callable. Oh, maybe this print statement. I did something.
So do we really need to mention int there? Because if you are thinking to be an integer.
Okay. I just made it confused with the print. Actually, I declared print, right? This variable declaration might have this print, right? So what it does, it becomes 5 now. Okay, this value becomes 5 now. I declared print as 5, right? So whenever I am trying to call print, okay, it's getting confused with the variable declaration print. And that's why it is saying that int object is not callable. So now this print is declared as int. Okay, see, if I hover the mouse, what it is saying, this is not a function now. Right, getting it right? This is the problem with Python. Okay, so whenever you use a keyword to declare as a variable, what happened? Like previously print was a keyword, like print was a function. Okay, that function I declared it as an integer here, right? How to do it? I simply need to delete it from the variable runtime. I don't know like whether this will allow it or what, or else I need to simply rerun the runtime. Disconnect and delete the runtime. And now again I am reconnecting the runtime. So that this variable declaration, this print variable declaration, previously I put print equal to 5, right? So what it become? This print become an integer. So by that time, this internal function, this print function, right? So that is getting replaced. That's why it is saying that integer object not callable. So print was an integer and it is now not letting us to run. See, now it will work because that print, I just deleted it, right? See, now it is working. You are getting it or I am confusing it?
Yes, sir, got it. So when you have assigned the value into that print, so that became a variable.
Yes,
So
correct.
that
So instead of
variable,
function, that become a
yeah.
variable. Yeah.
So
So yeah,
what?
it. Yeah, thank you, Ravi. Like I also learned something. So means that like that keywords and all we should not play. We should not assign
Correct.
something like inputs equal to like this. If I put like this, then after that inputs equal to rule if I put. Okay. After that, if I am trying to input something, the name is equal to input of something. If I am asking like this, then this input will become string. Our input is equal to 5 or 6 likewise. Then this input is becoming integer. And if I am trying to call an input function like this, then this will throw an error. Because input is a keyword. I should not use it for a variable declaration. 35.
Yeah,
See,
keywords we can't use it.
see, keywords we should not use. Python will allow us to use, but we should not use so that the internal functions will be getting disturbed. Python is allowing us to declare it, right? So up to this point, it is working. So it's allowing me to override the keyword value as a 6. But that keyword value hereafter, this will become an integer and it will not letting me to call it as a function. So this is a function, print, input, whatever we are doing, right? So that functional capability, it is just losing when we are overriding that. Okay, so it's always better not to use the keywords as for declaration.
But there would be some hundreds of keywords, right? How can we make sure? Will it come in a different color if I'm trying to declare it, or I have to remember?
Yeah, you know the keyword, right? Anyway, these functions and all will be the keyword, right? This input, like whatever we are seeing, len, function, and sorry, this print or if,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, these
right?
are
This is
very
this is
regular
these and
things.
all are part of the learning in these things in Python. Like when you learn along, you will come to know like these keywords, right? So you should not use it for a variable declaration. Okay. So
But
if you
these are
want a
very
keyword list,
commonly used.
right,
Yeah.
Python keywords list. It's a PDF for this. Yeah, so these keywords are reserved words that cannot be used as a variable, right? Variable name or function name or any other identifier. So these and all are the list of keywords. Yeah. See, there is something called some function is there. KW list is there. So we can use that also. It's because we are not importing it. Okay, there is something called an import. This is a function actually. This is a third party stuff. These things and all we will see. What is an import and how to use these functions, right? So these things and all will be part of. See, these keywords and all we should not use actually. False, none, true, and, as, asset, async like this. So this is the list of keywords we should not use. Here I am adding a text. Keywords we should not use. Python keywords we should not use for variable declaration or function names like this. Okay. So these keywords we should not use. Okay. So up to this point, we have covered if, and on next session, we will start from the remaining content. Okay. Up to these keywords we should not use, we have covered, right? So from this is nothing. Like we have still over have else, elif, nesting, and then we have some comparison operators, and then loops. That's it. So these things are pending in today's class, and we will be shifting this to tomorrow's class. Okay, don't worry. Like we will cover everything only. Okay, so if we are missing anything, then we will be shifting it to the next class. And if we are not able to cover everything, then we will simply extend the number of days. Okay.
Yeah, sure, Arun. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Up to this point, any doubts? Like up to these keywords, we should not use. Any doubts? Please let me know. Otherwise, we can just drop off and we will finish this call.
No,
I think
that's
we are
clear.
good, Arun. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.
Yeah. Thanks, Arun. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, everyone. Bye.